Hey, everybody. Let me first of all tell you, I'm on a remote location. I don't have the best Wi Fi. So I'm going to try to get this show in. We'll try to take your phone calls. We'll try to talk about a variety of topics, but bear with me. You know what? I am at the mercy of the Wi Fi where I am at here on a remote location. But anyway, we wrap up the week. The Kings made some roster moves today. The Kings had their final preseason game last night. We got college football going on right now. We've got Oregon and Purdue. We've got college football tomorrow. We've got the NFL on Sunday and Monday. We've got a lot to talk about. So hit me up with your questions. I would love to hear from you. Here is the link if you want to get in on the program. There is the link to call the show. Would love to be able to talk to you. So let's do it. Let's do it. Would love to hear from you. Got the QR code as well on the screen. So we got it all for you there. And fire away with your questions, and we'll be happy to talk about whatever you want. You know, I've been looking at my social media. I've been looking at some of the comments about Boogie Ellis. I've said this, and I'm going to continue to say this again. I don't get too wrapped up at the end of the bench in the NBA. The end of the bench in the NBA doesn't win or lose you games. It's not worth fretting over, okay? That's been my experience. Now, there are great stories. There are guys that start off the year in a G League and they end up making big contributions with the NBA. And that does happen. It does. But those stories are few and far between. How about Dalton Connect last night? Are you freaking kidding me? Did you see the rookie out of Tennessee and what he did last night? That was unbelievable. Rookie or no rookie, what he did last night is incredible. And I'm just going to tell you this because I know if he ends up being the real deal and the Kings passed on a player that they absolutely, that's the position they needed. Let's just call it the way it is. They didn't need another guard, all right? And I'm not in any way, shape, or form going to bag on a player who hasn't even stepped onto the court yet as a rookie. I'm not going to rip that player. But I'm just telling you right now, if Dalton Connect ends up being that guy in this year's draft, it will once again be another King snafu and another missed opportunity. And I'm not ready to go there yet. That's absurd. But that was unbelievable last night. Said, I'm just going to leave the screen the way it is here because we're going to have a little Wi-Fi interruptions from time to time. Bear with me, all right? And I could let me know on the comments section if everything looks and sounds okay, because I can't tell when I'm doing the show. All right. Cleveland, Stanton with the 3-run homer earlier in the game, a big 3-1 shot in the 6th. I was going to say the Indians. I'll get in trouble if I say that. The Tribe, I'll say Tribe, okay? The Tribe bounced back with 3 in the 7th because I can't call them their real name. I'm not doing that. The Tribe score 3 in the 7th, and the Yankees are on top 6-5. Thank you, Garrison. Appreciate that. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate that. So happy to have everybody here on the stream. Again, bear with me if we have a dropout from time to time. We'll do this show and we'll get it on. Mets keep alive. They're going to send this series back to LA for a game 6, whereas the Yankees, bottom of the 8th, 2 outs, and they are leading 6-5. Should they win, they'll go on to lead this series 3-1. What do you want to talk about today? All right, let me pose a question to you. All right. What do you think about what you saw in the preseason for the Kings? And I don't care about the record. Forget about the record for a moment, okay? Forget about the record. Let's talk about what you saw. Did the team look any different in preseason than what you saw last year? Obviously with DeMar DeRozan. Did you see anything that stuck out to you? Is there anything that kind of like you're like, uh-oh, same thing, right? So, again, I don't care about whether you win or lose. All right. Here is a comment. So we lost all of our preseason games. Yeah, it's preseason, but nothing really looked great either. Not worried, but kind of concerned. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. I won't be concerned until I look at this team for the first 5 games. And if it's not coming together and if it looks like there's some issues, then I'll be concerned. I'm not concerned right now. I know there's a lot of talent on this team. I mean, I know that you have a very good point guard. You have a very good center. You have DeMar DeRozan. You got Malik Monk coming off the bench. You got Keegan Murray, who I think is the key to this year's team, by the way. I'm not that concerned about the roster. I'm not saying that means it's all going to come together and everything's going to be fine and dandy, but there's talent on this team. Make no mistake about it. This team has talent. And the talent, if they stay healthy, should have this team back into the playoffs. If not, there are going to be a lot of people looking for jobs. That much I do believe. All right, again, if you're just joining me, bear with me here. We might have some dropouts now and then with the internet. No problem. I've been told that we sound good, we look good. I've never looked good, but thank you very much for the compliment. I'm just happy that you're here. We wrap up the week. We got the ALCS, the NLCS. All right. I've got the Kings, got college football. I've got the NFL. Did you help me out here? Did you watch Dalton Connect last night? I didn't watch the game live, but I saw the highlights. I was like, wow. You know, when Kevin Harlan was doing a game with Reggie Miller, and oh boy, I mean, Reggie Miller, who was a phenomenal. Watching the highlights, Reggie Miller was in awe of what he saw with Dalton Connect. How would you not be impressed? I know it's preseason, but wow. Feeling down, I guess, preseason. So don't feel down. There's nothing to feel down for. Your record's 0-0. All right. If the Kings have a disappointing season, will Mike Brown be on the hot seat, in your opinion? No. He just signed a new deal. I think Monty McNair would be gone. Listen, Vivek's fired a lot of people with big contracts in the past, and he's a very how do I want to say this about it? Very impatient is the word I would use. He's a very impatient owner, and I will guarantee you that Monty McNair has already received a call or a text from Vivek after what Dalton Connect did last night. Guarantee it. Now, I'm not saying Dalton Connect's going to be the next great player in the NBA. What I'm saying is, if he ends up being that guy, if you're with me, bear with me. We might have a couple of dropouts. We'll get the show rolling. All right. But and I won't go that long today. I wanted to talk about the Kings. I wanted to talk a little bit about what was going on with the NFL. And, right now, with the internet problems, I'm not going to do a long show today. I just want to come on. I wanted to take some questions about really the Kings. And we'll do my shows next week. Rhino and me, we will be going wall to wall next week on the Kings. We got opening night against Minnesota. We got the Lakers 2 days later. We've got a lot of stuff that we're going to be doing. All right. We got Sean Salisbury, who will be coming on Wednesday at 3:00 to talk football. So again, I know that I'm coming in and out. Thank you for all the comments. I greatly appreciate that. I'm going to do the best I can. Just bear with me if we have a dropout, all right? Because it's only for a couple of seconds. Thank you very much for your patience. There's nothing I can do about that. How do I see the Niners and the Chiefs? You know, I think at some point the Niners have to beat the Chiefs, and the Chiefs aren't going to go 17-0. And I just feel like this is a spot where the Chiefs, even though they had a bye week, are not playing great. They're just finding ways to win. I just feel this is going to be the Niners game this week. So I picked the Niners in my pool. Speaking of the pool, I don't know what I was thinking picking New Orleans last night. How embarrassing was that? How embarrassing was that? Seriously. That was awful. That was absolutely brutal. Absolutely awful. So while we have a moment, for those of you that are new to the channel, please subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and make sure that you're with us for our wall-to-wall Kings coverage, which really kicks off next week. I've got some new merch that we're going to be debuting in the team store. We've got some new graphics and new videos, and Ryan and I are pumped to get ready for this season. Ryan, of course, has got the Kings Court every day. I've got my shows. We've got pregame, halftime, postgame. It's all there for you, all right? So we're pumped. I know you're excited. Don't let the preseason get you down, and I really mean that. Don't get down until you really need to get down, all right? And by that, I mean a bad start to the season, then I will understand you getting down, because there's a lot of expectations and there's a lot of excitement. But you also have to remember it's an 82-game season. And other than your great teams like Boston last year, every team's going to go through their cycles. Every team's going to go through their ups and downs. Don't let it drive you crazy, all right? Again, the goal is to get into the playoffs. That's the goal. And I think the Kings have an opportunity to do that. And I think they have an opportunity, if they have good health, to be fighting for the fourth spot. New Works Plumbing, they've got a fix for you. They're available around the clock, sackserviceplumbing.com, or call the number on your screen. Remember, New Works Plumbing, they've got a fix for you. Get the Bennett's this weekend for their outstanding brunch, Saturday and Sunday, bennettsrestaurants.com to make a reservation. They're awesome. Sacramento, Roseville, the West Side Grill. Check it out, bennettsrestaurants.com. Make a reservation and get down there for the brunch this weekend. All right, again, I'm not going to go that long today due to my internet situation here, but feel free to send me some questions, and I will answer them. And if you want to talk NFL, you want to talk baseball, you want to talk Kings, you want to talk anything else, I'm very happy to do that. I'm sitting here following the Yankees and the Indians while I'm doing this show. And, we'll see if the Yankees can hold on here. They are a team that, to me, has underachieved so much in the last decade. Indians, by the way, have tied the game at 6. So they get a run in the bottom of the 8th. And this game is now tied, just like the previous game, where the Indians won it in dramatic fashion. So the Indians, Guardians, I'm sorry, I'm always going to call them the Indians. There's nothing wrong with the word Indians. The Indians were down after Stanton's big home run, and they have come back. Give them a lot of credit. They have bounced right back in this game with a big 7th inning. So the Tribe has tied the game at 6-6. 6-6. That ball game into the 9th. I'm not calling them the Guardians. That's the stupidest name. I'm calling them the Indians. All right. You don't like it? I'm sorry. You go watch somebody else. They're the Indians. There's nothing wrong with the name Indians. All right. You can't be called the Indians. Please. They're the Cleveland Indians. They'll always be the Cleveland Indians. And everybody that lives in Ohio knows that they're the Indians. And everybody still calls them the Indians in Ohio. And so the Tribe have tied it up, and it is 6-6. All right. Guardians, my ass. Stop it with this nonsense, would you please? Are we really dealing with this? It's the Tribe. Unbelievable. I'm sorry, Herb Score, and all the other great, legendary figures with that franchise over the years. Please, come on. I used to go watch Gaylord Perry at Yankee Stadium when it came in pitching for the Tribe. Gaylord Perry against Mel Stoudemire. That was a matchup. Spitball against Mel Stoudemire. Those were the days. The Indians and the Yankees. Yankees always won, by the way. I remember Super Joe Charbonneau. You remember Joe Charbonneau? Little drop out there. We're back. Super Joe Charbonneau. Man, you'd go to that big stadium that sits 80, 85,000. And if the Yankees weren't in town, there'd be like 5,000 people. That's the truth. That is the truth. Unbelievable. All right, again, glad to have you with us. And so happy to be able to talk about all these things going on. Listen, this is a great time of the year. It is a fabulous time of the year. You know it. I know it. We've got everything going on. And you've heard me talk about the baseball, and I'm down on baseball. But, in the playoffs, I get back into it. I've been watching both the NLCS, the ALCS. And listen, am I in love with baseball right now? No. But, the playoffs are the playoffs. The playoffs are the playoffs. Hey, EDH Motors, Automotive Reimagined. All right. This is a long overdue new concept. And I think you're going to love what you see if you go to info@edhmotors.com. All right. Again, we're talking about a new concept, just two people trying to do something different and better, offer new vehicle brokerage. They also offer vehicle consignment where they will sell your vehicle for you. And of course, they can buy your car and they can sell it. All right. Here's the deal. All right. You don't have to go into a dealership. You don't have to deal with high pressure salespeople. You don't get pushed into the F&I office. It's a great new concept. Go to info@edhmotors.com and you will get all the information you need. And great to have EDH Motors in El Dorado Hills on with us for this season coming up. Hey, by the way, if you want to become a sponsor, drop us a line, would you please? Very easy to do. Send me an email, gnapier@gmail.com, or you can hit Ryan up. There's his email address, rhinoinsacktown@gmail.com. If you'd like to become a sponsor, you want some information on sponsorships, we'd love to have you on board this year. All right. We did some amazing numbers last year. There were a couple of games where we had over 30,000 watching our post-game show, both here on YouTube and for those of you that are watching on X. Big numbers, okay? Your message will be heard, okay? You sponsor with us, people will hear and see what you're doing with your business. So give us a shout. We would absolutely love to have you as a sponsor. And all you got to do is send us an email. All right, I want to tell you about Sunrise Landing. Speaking of sponsors, great to have them on. This is a phenomenal development in Colusa with no homeowners, no Mellorews, and great access to the major arteries such as I-5, Highway 20, Highway 45, adjacent to the Colusa Golf and Country Club. Just go to ColusaSunrise.com, and check everything out at beautiful Sunrise Landing. Great to have them on board, along with Bennett's and New Works Plumbing. Again, drop us a line. We'd love to be able to talk to you about sponsorship opportunities. And as I said, our numbers last year for basketball kind of blew us away. I mean, when you can have over 30,000 people viewing your content on a post-game show locally, those are big numbers. I mean, I don't want to brag, but I'm just saying those are big numbers. So thanks to everyone. I'm going to wrap up the show because of the Wi-Fi issues, but I wanted to get on. I wanted to talk about a couple of things. I wanted to thank you. And I wanted to tell you, hey, next week, we're going to rev it up. All right. We're rolling our sleeves up to our freaking necks. Are you on board? I think you're on board. I'm on board. Rhino's on board. Jerry Reynolds is on board. We'll talk to you next week. It's going to be a big week. Opening night in the NBA. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye-bye.